Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Andrea, and today I'm going to be sharing why I started the carnivore diet and how it changed my life. But first, I would love to hear from you guys about your own health journeys, as well as what you'd like to hear next. I love posting educational videos, so leave a comment down below, and I'm going to be posting a video every Saturday for you guys. Now, if you watched my first two videos about my health journey, you know that I have dealt with Lyme and mold toxicity and a host of other infections that made me chronically ill. Even though becoming bedridden happened overnight, it seemed that a lifetime of buildup of bad lifestyle habits, trauma, and other factors contributed to my poor health. But 2 years ago, I became bedridden and I got diagnosed with POTS, and then I started to dig deeper for root cause and found out that I had Lyme and mold toxicity. So, how did I find carnivore? Well, I actually had a friend who suggested that I did carnivore, and I thought that she was crazy. I had prior background education in nutrition, and even though animal protein is definitely favored, I always thought, vegetables are super important, and so is fruit. So I thought that they were all crazy. But I was at my wit's end. I was down to eating one food, and I was reacting to almost everything I ate. I ended up realizing that I had histamine issues. Anything with high histamine, I would flare up really bad. My tongue would swell up. I'd break out in hives, and I'd get palpitations, dizziness, all the inflammation symptoms. And the more I did research, the more I realized that mast cell activation syndrome and POTS kind of go hand in hand. And with all of the other hidden infections that I was dealing with, it can cause your mast cells to go haywire. Like I said, I was desperate. I was only eating one food. I had a person reach out to me on Instagram, and I was telling them what I was dealing with. And I had even had a reaction to meat at the time, so I was scared to even eat meat. The longer meat sits, the more histamines it produces. This person assured me that it was the way to go. He was dealing with similar issues. And so instead of making excuses, I said, okay, I'm going to look into this and do it. With the histamine issue in mind, I did some research and I stumbled upon Rebecca Heisman. She has an amazing story of overcoming tons of autoimmune diseases, Lyme and C. diff. And I saw that she had suggested a company called Billy Doe Meats, which is where I started. In the beginning, I would react to non-grass-fed beef, just like the conventional beef. So I had to go grass-fed, I had to go organic, and I had to get as fresh as possible, and then I would freeze it. But I was able to buy Billy Doe Meats. I fell in love with the lamb. It was so good. It took a while to figure out what worked best for me. I really think that the carnivore diet is the ultimate elimination diet. So within about 3 weeks, I started to get my strength back. I started to get my cognitive function back. I was sleeping better. Like I said, I got my strength back. I was able to walk around the block. Came to a point where I eventually moved out of my moldy home and of course continued the carnivore diet. Another really good person I listened to while I was sick about the carnivore diet was Judy Cho. She personally went through a lot of mental health issues and stumbled upon carnivore herself. She wrote a book called Carnivore Cure, and I love all of the information that she provides for people, even on her Instagram. I really do think that this is the ultimate elimination diet, and I started adding things back into my diet, and I was able to find out which ones didn't work for me. For example, eggs give me cystic acne. I'm doing an experiment with dairy right now. I think they mess with my hormones. I have estrogen dominance, which I'm trying to fix, and some vegetables, especially like the FODMAP vegetables, like asparagus and kale, and some fruit bothers me. But for the most part, after a year and a half, I have added some foods back in, but I'm probably about 95% carnivore still. If I do dairy, it's raw, which is hard to come by and expensive, but that's where I stand on that part, besides the butter, but I cut out the butter for now. But what you need to understand is the bioavailability of nutrients in animal proteins. I was taught in holistic nutrition school, not the conventional nutrition. They taught that you absorb 70 to 80% of animal proteins. This is because it's a full form of the protein. It has everything in it, and there's no fiber. Whereas fruits and vegetables, fruit doesn't really have protein, but vegetables that say they have a lot of protein, there's fiber in it, especially insoluble fiber. We do not have digestive tracts to break down insoluble fiber. It goes right through us. So that leaves you with the ability to not absorb as much protein from plants. So it's super important to get enough protein with animal products because the bioavailability of that nutrients is so much higher than in plants. Not to mention that plants have anti-nutrients like lectins and oxalates. I just finished toxic superfoods. So going carnivore and adding these high oxalate foods, I realized that it was causing most of my problems. So especially as a nutritionist, we're told, oh, eat sweet potatoes and, eat spinach and all these things. Well, I introduced sweet potatoes back into my diet while doing carnivore, and within 30 minutes, my joints were so swollen, I was in so much pain, and I said, wow, this is incredible. You do have to realize, though, I am dealing with underlying infections. Most people who are healthy and they go on the carnivore diet will probably just become superhuman because it's gotten me to at least work and function properly, as well as countless other people like Michaela Peterson and her dad and the other people that I mentioned. I'm not exaggerating when I say it saved and changed my life. I really believe that ultimately God is our healer, but He gives us medicine, and food is our medicine, especially animal products. And I do believe that there are medicinal purposes for other foods. I'm not discounting them. And I hate labeling foods bad and good. I think that does something to our psyche. It enables eating disorders. I don't want to call foods bad or good, but I think educating ourselves on what foods do and how they operate is really important to our health. Now back to when I started carnivore. When I started carnivore, I was ravenous. I was so malnourished. I couldn't keep weight on. I was continuing to drop weight. I didn't get to a point that was concerning, but if I didn't start the carnivore diet when I did, it would have been pretty bad. Let me tell you, I was putting away some food. So when I first started carnivore, my day consisted of 2 ribeyes. Again, grass-fed, unaged, either 2 ribeyes or a ribeye and a lamb shoulder or something along those lines. I was just eating when I was hungry and stopping when I was full. That is when I became a ravenous animal. I was eating upwards of 3,000 calories a day and 250 grams of protein and fat, and it was crazy, and I just let it ride. I gained weight, of course. Overeating anything will make you gain weight. I really think that my body was starved for nutrition almost all of my life, and it really needed that. Carnivore didn't only give me the nutrition I needed, it also helped me get a better relationship with food. I knew exactly what I was going to eat, how I was going to prepare it. It made life so simple, and I never thought about food. I was able to concentrate on what I had to do for the day. I knew exactly what I was going to eat, and it really, really helped my disordered eating that I had. And everybody thought I was crazy. They're like, you're not eating vegetables or fruit, what in the world? And I just said, you know what, this is what I feel good with. This is what's helping me, and I'm gonna stick to it. And I've been doing it for 1.5 years now. Like I said, I've added a couple foods in here and there, but I'm about 95% carnivore still, and I don't think I'm gonna change that. I definitely gave my body enough time to heal and replenish. I'm still healing. I still got a long ways to go. I spent most of my life sick, so 1.5 years of doing a diet isn't gonna reverse over 20 years of poor nutrition and lifestyle. But to wrap it all up, I really wanted to share this with you guys and bring you on my journey of what I'm going through and what I'm currently doing. And I really, really hope that this has encouraged someone to step out and try something new for their health. And if you guys have any questions, you can of course comment below. And like I said earlier, I will be posting every Saturday, so I will see you guys next week.